What time is it? Game time! Boom!
What up, YouTube? Double, toil and trouble. It's your boys, Detroit Love, PDubs, Arcade Loft, Michael B. the Game Genie, and Restalgia with another episode of the Super Game Room Dudes Friday night. Just got live.
I thought it would be funny just to end the show right there. It's not like I hit the wrong button or anything, you know what I mean? But hey, guys, welcome once again to the Friday Funhouse. Happy Halloween weekend. I'm your host, PDubs. This is another episode of the Super Game Room Dudes. With me, as always, my co-host, Carl, Detroit Love. We got a special guest in the house, a lovely young lady who's been kicking ass on YouTube lately. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Jade SheLion Gaming. What's going on, girl?
What is up? I'm actually Restalgia. I just ate too much Canadian bacon, so.
welcome. So if you guys don't know, Michael B and Restalgia are in Ottawa right now as we speak. And in fact, I do have photographic evidence and proof that this is actually taking place. Let's take a look here right here. Let's take a look here, guys. These guys just met in person for the first time about 45 minutes ago. So Michael B and Restalgia are together in Ottawa. They're going to be attending some, I think there's some arcades they're going to be going to and stuff. So look at the happy faces right there, guys. What do you think about this, Carl? We've been waiting forever.
I'm wondering where Michael's hand is. Restalgia seems to be.
I think we're still just saying those aren't pillows. Those aren't pillows, Michael B. Michael B, it does play a little bit of grab ass. I can speak to that much. We got Mark Whitman's here. Quentin's here. Wayne is here. Pitbull on Pinball and Arcades is here. The Darkroom Arcade is here. Conti's here. Ezekiel, the Chicago Rangers here. Console Fanboys in the house. Wild Bill is here. Endless 1-Up, killing it with the Steam content. Dr. Z is here. Managing Chaos is here. Stephen Ramey is here. Bonos Tecmo, Conti, Terry, Adam, Ritual Della, Mike Hawkert, Biggie D, Quarter Cade, Sox Cade, Jason. Whew, ran out of air. I'm very excited that these guys are meeting in person, and I told them it would be lovely if they called into the show tonight so everyone could see them together in the same room. We'll see if that happens. I don't know what they're doing right now. They could be already at the Gentleman's Club. We don't know. We don't know, do we, Jade?
Well, I am the only one who hadn't got my ass grabbed yet, so.
Get that man an inhaler. There you go. Thank you so much. All right. Now, guys, in case you don't know who SheLion Gaming is, I'm going to put a link on her YouTube channel here. As always, when the guests are here, we got to plug them. And there's the link to her YouTube channel, and I'm going to pop it on the screen. Jade, why don't you introduce yourself? There might be some people here who've never heard of you, don't know who you are. Tell them about the kind of content you make on your channel. What do you think about?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me on. I appreciate it.
Sure.
And I do a lot of home arcade stuff, retro gaming. And when I say home arcade, I mean a mix of course, like 1UP, iiRcade, and real arcades even. And then there's console stuff on there occasionally. And I also do live streams, which I'm kind of getting my schedule back together for that. But it's an absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you for the plug. And yeah, if you guys like that kind of stuff, please check my channel out. And if you think it's good, sub.
Yeah, check it out, guys. She actually just posted a review for the Missile Command from New Wave Toys. I did a review for that as well, and your review was definitely better produced than mine. So good job there. You did a really good job. I love your style. You have a unique style that's all your own, and that's what I've always liked about you ever since you came in. Like no one knew who you are. All of a sudden you came in, you started dropping videos, and we're all like, "Who is this girl?" And you have a great style. I love your style. It's very creative. It's very different. If you guys are tired of the same old, like me, guys, I have a very basic YouTube style. I don't do tons of comedy. I do button cheek jokes, and I do, pretty basic filmmaking because it works, right? It works. It's successful. I've gotten 15,000 subscribers off of it, but I love it when I see other people come in and they got this just unique music and style and lighting and camera movements.
It's like retro future synthcade. That's kind of like the style that I'm going for. A little bit of cyberpunk sprinkled in there,
Yeah. And it's good to have a female on the show as well. Detroit Love, don't you think? It's been a sausage fest for far too long on these broadcast airwaves.
Absolutely. Fresh face. It seems like the crowd loves her. We're going to have a great time tonight.
Yes. Like I said, we do some tongue-in-cheek comedy on my channel, but we don't go all out. We might have a puppet show up on occasion, but that's about it. All right, guys, let's dive into some of the stuff we want to talk about tonight so you guys can prepare yourselves for the show this evening. So, for instance, we're down a couple of guys. We were going to do a big Halloween extravaganza. I think what we might do is we might push that off until next Friday. We might celebrate Halloween a week late. There's a lot of people out at Halloween costume parties this weekend anyway. They're probably not even going to enjoy the show live. Probably catch it on replay. So we also have to do our Super Game Room Dudes contest impression winners. We got some entries. Good news is, since we're going to push this off for 1 week, if you do want to do a quick impersonation of the Super Game Room Dudes and possibly win some prizes, all you have to do is send me an email or contact me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, slide into my DMs, and get me access to your photo or your video file impersonation of you dressed up as one of the Super Game Room Dudes or all of us as your Halloween costume. And we'll try and do that for you next week. But when it comes to this week, we're going to talk about iiRcade's got some game sales going on. AtGames pushed out a firmware update. We're going to do a deep dive into this Killer Instinct Pro. I got to tell you, man, my man Carl put together some excellent materials for you guys to get you all the information you need on this Pro Series cabinet. We're going to do a deep dive on that. And if we happen to talk about MVC2 or NFL Blitz, there might be a rant involved because, Jade, I'm about to blow my gasket of all the crap that Arcade1Up has pulled in the last week or so. So,
stay tuned.
Yeah, so if we talk about that stuff, but let's try and get through stuff tonight. Everyone's here in the live chat. Carl, let's kick it off here, guys. Let's talk a little bit. Oh wait, Jade, do you have a video of your new arcade pickup? I want to show you.
Have.
You got rid of your MVSX, and you got something pretty cool.
I did, yes.
What'd you get?
So I got a Big Red Neo Geo MVS, and it's cosmetically it needed a little bit of work, but it worked. So it works well, and I actually just replaced all the controls on the control panel today.
That was a fun little project.
Yeah, so I'm working on the exterior right now, doing like some paint, and then I've got new T-molding that I have to install. But I have a couple, I think, shorts up of like that was the first time that I saw it before it got delivered. And then I think I have one of the actual delivery as well. But I got that and a Rush, and they both work great. They just need a little bit of cosmetic love.
Nice. Now I got a question for you because I don't understand this cabinet, the fascination, because it's not from my history at all. So, what makes you so enamored with this cabinet? Why'd you want to pick this up here? I'm just curious. Did you play these games growing up?
Oh yeah. I mean, I played on these at many different arcades locally, and one of the cool things about these is they had a 4-slot and a 6-slot. Well, they had actually, I think they had like a 2-slot as well. And chat and everybody else, please forgive me. I'm getting over a cold, but anyways. So this one is a 4-slot, and it came with 4 MVS games already in it. And so it's got like Metal Slug 5, and if you're familiar with that, and a couple others. So the cool thing about it is you can just swap games in and out of them very easily. And you can have 4 games in there at a time, which is awesome. And there's a lot of good games on it. Samurai Showdown, like big ones, namely Samurai Showdown, Bust a Move, and a slew of other games. So it's a very, very cool cabinet to own for me.
Yeah, I love that you. I love that you cover a lot of these home arcades from these commercial companies, but you also collect the real stuff as well. I've been on a binge, and one direction my channel is going to be going is I'll be collecting a whole bunch of more real pinball machines. I've been picking up a bunch of weird, wacky stuff because it's just fun to talk about and make videos on that stuff. I do have a modern pinball machine on its way to my house being delivered, and that one I think a lot of people will be more excited with because people, for some reason, they really like the modern Stern kind of stuff. They're not so excited about the old ass solid state stables, but man, I love them. I love the old ass stuff. I love the bells and the dings and the rings.
Yeah,
and
I really
pinball.
would like to get at least one legit pinball machine. What happened to your Cubert cocktail?
Oh, it's in the garage. It's in the garage. Okay,
good. I'm just glad you didn't get rid of it or anything.
Well, it's got a 13-inch CRT that needs work, so that's what's slowing me down. So we're gonna have to do that. Plus, it's missing the filter boards, which I gotta purchase. So that one's gonna be a fun project too. But I can bang out a couple of these pinball projects first. So I just really like pinball. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to invest this money in real stuff, I'm probably going to buy a whole bunch of real pinball machines. And we have an extra room in our house that we never use. And I told my wife, Melissa, that it's going to become the pinball room where all the pinball machines go. And she's like, you have stuff in your office. You have stuff in the garage. You have stuff in the loft. You have stuff downstairs in the living room, in the family room. When does it end? When does it end? And I told her, I said, never. Oh man, too funny. All right, let's see.
The pinballs are definitely going to take up more space, especially when you get to the modern side.
Yeah, that's the hard thing for me is I'm like, if I get a pinball, it's going to have to go in my garage, because they're just, they're long,
Yeah, they're. Yeah, there's some smaller form factor pinball machines you can get. Like I got that cocktail table, I got that Mario Brothers table. I just picked up those Zizzles at the auction. I don't know why. I should have just bought the Popeye. But that was. Sometimes you live life with regrets. Is all I can say. All right, guys, let's talk real quick about what's going on with the iiRcade. A lot of these companies, not a lot of big news this week. The big thing, obviously, is going to be Arcade1Up stuff, so hang tight. All right, my dudes. So iiRcade did not release any new games on their arcade platform this week. However, as you guys know, unless you've been living under a rock, the next 5 weeks, starting last week. So for the next 4 weeks, every week they're going to have mini online game store on sale, 30% off. So if you own an iArcade or are considering purchasing one, now's a good time to get in and get some games. Last week they had a whole bunch of action games on sale. That was the category of games. This week we have, I believe it's actual arcade games are on sale. Let's take a peek and see what some of these games are. Just bear with me one moment because their website is kind of humongous. All right, here we go.
While you're looking it up, I just want to mention I bought my first iArcade game in a long time. It's playing right there behind me, the Riptide. I've been waiting for it to go on sale, but I can never catch it on sale. So I finally just got the 13. I think it was $13 and something for it. I hope it's not on sale now. I just bought it. But Riptide, that's the water game when you're riding the jet. What do you call those? Ski jets? What are those things called?
Jet ski.
Jet skis, right? Jet skis.
Is it like Jet Moto or like Wave Race?
Games. What's that?
Is it like Wave Race or Jet Moto?
Yes. And so I've been wanting to get it since I had the cabinet, but I just was being stingy. I didn't want to give up $14. But I finally broke down, so I've been playing that this weekend. So it's a pretty fun game. I got to get used to the turns and things like that. But that form factor is one of the games I really enjoyed on the console growing up.
Excuse me, guys. Dr. Freeman's got a great point here. He goes, when you look at the sale, most of the games available were also offered last Christmas. My point is that there were not many new games released this year. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, last year, guys, they released nearly 300 games in a year. This year, it's been about 100 games. Like they're pushing 400 games, I think. You'd actually have to go in and physically count them all on their website. But I mean, if you think about it, they definitely have had a slower year than last year. And that's part of the reason why a lot of their fans were like, my iArcade is collecting dust because I got nothing new to play. You know what I mean? And what are your thoughts about it?
Thing about Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh,
no,
I was just gonna.
It flipped. The audio flipped, so I couldn't hear what you said. Go ahead.
Oh, the interesting thing about the iArcade game library is like, so they don't have a lot of, quote unquote AAA titles, but they have a lot of unique classic arcade titles in the collection. Like, I'm not really a fan of any of the console stuff. I know some people are, but they have a lot of unique ones, like some of the Sega games and some of the randoms like Rastin and some of those other games that you won't find on some of the other platforms. But it's weird though, because the price of their standard console is kind of, I don't know. I know I'm going to get chastised for this, but I still think it's like too high for their standard. But anyways, yeah, that's one of the things that is cool about the iArcade is a multi-system though, or a multi-cade, is that they have a lot to choose from in one place, I guess. True,
very true. I agree with you. Got a lot of games on sale. I mean, if you haven't played Galacticon, get it for $3.49, $3.50 for hours of fun. Galacticon is a great game. Obviously, the Dragon's Lair series, Donut Dodo, Congo Bongo. There's some good ones in here, and then there's also some fluffer ones as well, or fluff ones like Peggle I wouldn't recommend. Jeez, that game is not that great. Peter Pepper's Ice Cream Factory. I don't know if you guys ever played that before. It's actually okay. Rodland. I actually like Rodland. I don't know about you guys. I played that on a few multicades in the past. But they got a lot of the classic arcade games that are in their list on sale. Space Ace, Snow Brothers. Oh, I love Snow Bros. Who doesn't like Snow Bros? Snow Bros is a great game. You ever played Snow Bros? You played it before, Jade?
Yeah, I've got it on my arcade.
Yeah, Snow Bros is fun, man. I'm glad you like my Defender shirt. No, Console Fanboy Peggle is not good. That game is terrible.
Tumble Pop, that's another good one they need to get.
Toe Jam and Earl Back in the Groove. That's the later Switch version that came out. Twin Brats, New Zealanders, etc. So there's some stuff. There's some stuff out there for you. So they got some sales. Good time to get in. Console Fanboy asked a question earlier. He said, do you think gold editions will be on sale come Black Friday? I'm actually surprised because if your main revenue source for your company is selling software, selling games. If you think about it, guys, they're not making a lot of money off of these arcade cabinets. They're making money off the software, off the aftermarket, after the game purchases once it gets in your home. But these gold edition cabs, Jade, like they had a batch of them that they put up for pre-order. Then they locked down, pre-orders sold out. All those have shipped out to customers. Everyone who pre-ordered a gold has got one. But no new gold cabinet orders have gone up.
Well, I always wonder though, when you see like the price of their cabinets and then when they put them on sale and they get marked down like $300 or $400, and you're like, you're thinking, well, they don't make that much money off the cabinets, but how are they marking them down by like $300, sometimes $400, like on sale? Like they must have some sort of profit margin there. And the other interesting thing is like you said, they haven't readily had gold cabs available, but they've had a constant flow of the Gen 1s, which is strange that they're even really pushing those, considering it's not going to be forward compatible with some of the newer stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Well,
if you take a look,
let me just stress a couple of things. I mean, so obviously, if they already have them built and sitting in a warehouse somewhere, it's doing them no good, right? The one who's already invested in it, like PDubs said, if they're not selling those, they're not getting more, software sales, right? So if you got them, if you got them stack, collecting dust, get them out into people's hands, and that means more software that you can sell. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look, the gold editions have been sold out for months. They haven't put these up for pre-order yet. There's a few Retromania cabinets at Best Buy you can get. iiRcade themselves actually has some original edition cabinets in stock, also on sale. Last week, they only had...
Oh my, there's a Beach Buggy Racing 2 cabinet. Why?
So last week, they only had Retromania and Dragon's Lair in stock, but you'll notice that they now have, I believe, they're not sold out. They have the standard edition, they have the black edition.
And they got the black.
And they got the black, the black edition, and then they have the Beach Buggy too. They have some of those. So they do have some of the originals in stock, and they're all marked down as well. Now,
did either you guys get the tempered glass? I see that protector's there.
I have
Did you guys ever get that upgrade?
Yeah, so I ordered the tempered glass and put it in my Retromania cabinet, but once my Space Invaders cabinet arrived, because that's the one I'm going to end up keeping.
How is it though? Like, does it make it look nicer at all, or is it just...
It's kind of like if you take like the Arcade1Up Pinball Machines, which have a shitty plastic cover, acrylic cover over the top of them, and a lot of us have done the glass mods. Myself, 19K Fox, hundreds of people, customers out there have put glass over it. It just makes it look better. Does it make it look like the games was just released today? No. It just makes the screen look better.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, does it seem clearer? Like,
yeah, it does seem clearer versus
not as prone to scratchiness.
Oh yeah, there's not a ding on that thing. There's not a ding on, and I've dropped things on it. I've hit it with things. I've hit it with my hand. I've hit it with the ring on my hand. There's no scratches on it. Whereas I tear up the acrylic on my Arcade1Up bezels. You know what I mean? Like, even when I dust them, I make them worse. Even if I use a microfiber rag, they're so like, weak sauce, I guess you should say. But when I did my review, I said, hey, this thing, should be $800. And when these gold editions do come back in stock, I'm hoping iiRcade puts them on sale again for $800, because $1,000 is just a bit much, especially considering you.
I think $800 for one of those is decent. My only complaint is like the monitor.
Yeah, $800 for a gold is fair in my opinion, compared to the original version.
Yeah,
and considering you have to spend money to buy games to play on it, I mean,
plus you pay for shipping, right?
They do free shipping a lot. I think they're doing free shipping right now as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but their monitors, that was my one gripe about the golds. I was like, why didn't you guys put like an IPS monitor in there? Not that the monitor is like terrible. It's just like, if you have washout at certain viewing angles, I feel like we should be past that by now.
Yeah, they went with a 19-inch TN monitor, but it's a slightly better model than the 19-inch TN monitors that Arcade1Up was using in their XL cabinets. noticeable difference, but not like it's the end all be all, like this is the greatest monitor in the world kind of thing. You know what I mean? But you know, it'd be nice if they did IPS monitors as well. I mean, everyone seems to like the colors and the contrast on those. So
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, apparently they're pretty hard to source, though.
And one last thing about the iiRcade, when I have people over, I always put something up there that's a little more modern, and they gravitate to the cabinet. But I enjoy it definitely as a jukebox. I mean, I rock that thing all the time. The speakers in those things are just incredible. So I think that was the best thing that iiRcade did, was to add that jukebox function, because that's just a nice addition to the game room, to be able to Bluetooth and play whatever through that thing.
Yeah, it's definitely, I agree with you that the modern aspect of it is a cool function to have, especially if you have like a game room. And those good speakers, they make a difference too.
Yeah, I do like the sound system on the iiRcades. I can't complain about those. They're nice and loud. Bang bang. All right, guys, let's take a look here. Let's see. So that's pretty much what's going on with iiRcade. They got some games on sale in their game store. No new game releases. They do have some OG original cabinets on sale on their website if you're interested in getting in, since the gold editions are sold out. Me personally, I would wait until the gold editions come back in stock and are also put on sale, because with future peripherals and accessories and things like that, you want to be able to access those if you want. Better to have the option than not, right? So best to hold off for gold, in my opinion. But you got to do what you got to do, man. Whatever interests you. Let's take a look here and see what is going on in the world of AtGames. Speaking of which, we got a $2 super chat from Stringer Films. He said, Billy passed the 3rd grade. Oh, what a glorious day. If Billy is your son or family member or friend, congratulations.
No, Billy Madison.
Oh, he's talking about Billy Madison? Oh, okay. The Adam Sandler movie? I'm sorry. Tyler, happy Halloween, boys. Thanks for what I do. Look at that, $2 super chat. He says, thanks. Well, we thank you for what you do as well, Tyler. Very bold. Thanking himself. All right, let's take a look here, guys. So what happened with AtGames this week? They finally put out a firmware update. They finally released it for all their products. Has anyone done the update yet? Let me know in the live chat. I've actually been kind of scared to do the update, because every time I do the update, there's always, something that goes wrong, which is a shame. And some quad plays. I saw some people in their Facebook groups receive their quad play control panels. Have you seen those, Jade? Have you seen those giant 4-panel control panels from AtGames?
I have seen those, and I thought they were actually a pretty neat addition, or whatever you want to call them. I thought it was a cool idea for them to do that, considering that that's another multi-arcade platform.
And
I don't have one, though. Disclaimer: I don't have an AtGames.
Has anyone done the update, and is it safe to update? Let us know in the live chat. I wish I could tell you I've done the update and done it on all machines. I've just been busy. Music Mike, did the AtGames update today? The haptics are good. Have not explored the lobby too much, but looks cool. Yeah, so that's one of the biggest thing is last time they did a firmware update eons ago, they lost haptics for pinball games on the pinball machine for OTG mode, bring in your own games, plug in your PC in. Supposedly this update fixed it where you got your haptics back. Let us know, guys, in the live chat. Music Mike says that his haptics are back. That gets me excited. Rich Odell's not touching it. Console Kits is here. Sorry he's late. No worries, Console Kit. You got a life, my friend. Cornercade is super excited to be in the live chat. As always, man, he's full of energy, isn't he? Haven't done an update since winter, but maybe now I will. Music Mike says it's up. Dr. Z says it's up. Carl, your favorite game to play on the AtGames is the update game. Why don't you remind people about that in case they haven't heard that story before?
Well, I attempted to update my AOU, and I get the infamous file size. You can't download the file or whatever it is. Yeah, it's no game. It's not a fun game. The updates, the login game. That's what I hate the most with the AtGames products. And I was talking about with the guys the other day. You know, you have that QR code, which at least makes it a little more, bearable. Because if you had to use that little keyboard to type in your email address and password or username, that would be even more horrendous. But no, I hadn't been able to update the ALU. So I got to contact them as I always do when it gives me that file size. You're familiar with what I'm talking about, PDubs, right? It says that the file size doesn't match or something when you try to download thing.
That's
annoying. I don't know why that occurs. It occurs like probably every fourth or fifth update for me. And so the good thing is it can't update and mess up something, but I can't get the new update until I contact someone.
So for instance, like when I turn these on to have these on during the show here tonight, when I came into the office, it pops up, it says firmware is available, but guess what? You don't have enough space. You have to go and uninstall your game packs. Once your game packs are uninstalled, you can download and then do the firmware update and then reinstall your game packs. It's an annoying step. You know what I mean? That's another reason why I haven't done it is oh, great. Now I got to delete my game packs, come back, reinstall my game packs, and all that kinds of stuff. What was different about Chicago Patrick than Arizona Patrick? Console kids, what the hell are you talking about? I know what he's talking about. He says he misses Chicago Patrick. Console kids is feeling lovey-dovey in the live chat, guys. Now, there are some great things in this firmware update. Big shout out to my buddy Wagner's Tech Talk for always documenting this stuff for us. But here's the big one right here. This is the most exciting one. If you do update, you no longer have to log in to play your CoinOps X or your Add-on X games. Over the last 3 years, actually, no, 2 years, because it took them about 2 years to get to CoinOps X. Since CoinOps X was available for the last 2 years, nothing but people complaining. Hundreds of people complaining every week that they don't want to log in to play their add-on games. Well, now you don't have to with this new firmware update. So I guess that should be huge news and a big welcome thank you from everyone towards AtGames. I know I'm excited. I'm excited about it. That's why I don't want to update. It's a pain in the tuchus. All right.
I just want to add, someone had mentioned earlier when we were talking about Arcade, they said they had given their original cabinet to their mother and she loves it. They just didn't like it, so they gave it to her. I couldn't imagine anyone that's not a techie having the AtGames products because it would drive you bonkers to walk up to the cabinet and have to log in, or these firmware updates. I think it would drive a non-techie person bananas.
Yeah, let me know in the live chat, guys. I expected to see a lot more people in the live chat tell me how pumped they were about this, because this is huge. Like, this was, a lot of people were like, are they watching us? Are they keeping track of what games we're playing? What are they doing? You know what I mean? Like, this is huge. This is probably one of the best things they've ever done in the last 2 years, is get rid of this login requirement. I'm super happy about this. They did add the lobby, so if you wanted to play the arcade lobby games on your pinball machine, I guess the lobby wasn't on the Legends pinball, but now it is if you update the pinball machine to 5.68. And then, of course, right here, you find out about the haptics being fixed. New haptic volume slider introduced on the pinball and the Legends Pinball Micro, which, by the way, I paid for my Pinball Micro. I wonder if AtGames is going to ship that soon. And now that the quad play is hitting people's homes, check it out. Quad play support, your Legends quad play, that 4-player control panel, will work with your Ultimate cabinets, the Core Max, the Gamer Pro, the Gamer Mini, and all that kinds of stuff. The bit LCD will also now work with all devices as well. So if you did want to use a bit LCD, which is kind of weird to me because, like, it's meant to be mounted on the arcade machine, but I guess if you want to plug it in the wall and use like a pedestal stand with your Gamer Pro and your Gamer Mini and a core, I mean, I guess you could mount it like on your wall above your TV if you're looking for something like that. But primarily, I mean, it came out, it worked with the arcades. Now it works with all devices. And added flash drive X on 16 gigabyte devices. Now users will be able to use built-in storage and use external flash drive X as they see fit. That's good news in my opinion as well, because but then again, you have to have one of the newer devices that has the storage on the board. But that way you don't have to use a flash drive for your pinball games that you purchase from AtGames and things like that. It's just all downloaded to the system. So that's pretty cool. There we go. Carl says his is working fine after the firmware. Thanks so much. We greatly appreciate it. Rainwater Games says AtGames should hire all new devs to completely redo their menus from the ground up. Yeah, I mean, let's work on that user interface, man. That user interface it's hard to stare at for a long time. Mike Hawk says he has a kill switch on his Ethernet going into his AtGames so they can't linger on his network. That's pretty funny. There you go. All right, guys, let's get off of that. So that's what's going on in the world of AtGames, guys. Not too much going on over there as well. Pretty quiet week from some of these folks. Tech Buzz Gaming. Hey, Jade, this might hit a little bit home for you. Release notes. What a concept. Maybe Arcade1Up could learn something.
Yeah.
You know, the other companies proudly publish their release notes. I don't know why Arcade1Up can't. They sent out a firmware update for NFL Blitz last week. I have no idea what it did.
You know, we need to grow with them. Okay.
We need to grow with them.
Yeah, we need to grow with them and you know, accept their mistakes because we're helping them out. We're growing with them.
All right.
It's a time of growth.
Well, before we dive into the debacle that was the NFL Blitz and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 updates this week, Carl spent a lot of time putting together some great materials for you guys, and Carl wants to tell us all about Killer Instinct Pro. Now, I myself have zero interest in this product. I have some pretty strong feelings about this product. Carl, however, you put in an order, didn't you, buddy?
I did. And you know, I wasn't that excited about the initial one, you know. Riser. I'm just not a fan of Riser. I was definitely wanting to go away from that. You know, they announced both of them at the same time, right? They told you about the initial one. They told you about the Pro was coming. So you know, it kind of put people on the fence. Do I get the current one or do I wait for this mystery Pro that they sort of teased you with? And so I was interested in the Pro, not from the standpoint of you know, it being a game I played growing up, because it wasn't. I've seen it on Nintendo, but it's not a game I played in the arcade. But you know, you see like the game room behind me, when I have a lot of people come over and they play what they play, and people always asked about the Killer Instinct. I've modded a lot of Arcade1Up cabinets with the Raspberry Pi, and almost every customer asks, can you play KI on it? And I'm like, I don't know, because it's not a game I was even interested in. And playing that with the Raspberry Pi 4, you know, you had a little more success, but people were interested. So it's definitely an interest for the KI in the gaming world. So I definitely pulled the plug. I didn't do it the night that they announced. I did it the next morning. I'm interested in the Pro Series. I'm interested in them getting away with the you know, the risers. Obviously they did that with the XL, but I'm interested in having the better joysticks. So you know, this is a pilot program for them. If people buy this thing, they're going to look to expand this into other cabinets. So that's more what my interest in people that come into my game room will be able to play a pretty cool game. And two, I want to see these Pro cabinets. I want this to be the norm for these arcades. I wouldn't say replacing the other ones, because you know, I'm a guy that loves his options. I love to have people that have the options to get the classic, but have that Pro cabinet available for people.
Now take a look, guys. Carl put together a few slides here. This is one of the main ones that tells us the differences between both of these cabinets. And thanks so much, Detroit Love, for doing this. So KI Classic, $700 is the normal retail price, although this thing is on sale at the moment. Jay, do you know how much they're selling it for? I thought I saw someone...
$399. Called a Band-Aid.
It's a Band-Aid. Sorry. How do you go from $700 to $399? Good God. All right, let's try and push through this stupidity. All right, so here we go. $700 MSRP, and you get a 17-inch screen, you get a 68-pound cabinet, you get a cabinet on a riser, light-up deck protector, matching stool, molded coin door, light up marquee, 5 games in one, and of course that very, very costly anti-tip over strap that nobody uses that Arcade1Up puts in every box. But now for $300 more, let's take a look and see what we get for $300 more. All right. For $300 more, you get all the same shit. And you get twin Yamaha speakers. It's a single piece cabinet, or supposed to be. To me, I think it's going to end up being like the XL cabinets. Like basically the Golden Tee, you build a base and then you build a bar top and then you mount the bar top to the base. And then that's your XL cabinet. Like I still think there's going to be some separation here. I don't think that's going to be a single panel. I really don't. I would be shocked. I think the assembly is going to be the same. Like where you build a top half and a bottom half. I don't.
Was it though? Did anybody see that video? Like they had a video of an actual like cabinet, and I don't remember seeing any seams in it.
You don't remember seeing any seams?
Yeah. Does Shack Edition have any seams, or is it all one piece? I can't remember.
I think you build a base and then you build the top half. I don't think it's a single piece. Anyone have the Shack cabinet out here? The only guy I know who has it is Mike. Let us know in the live chat. But you're going to get a 19-inch BOE monitor. So apparently that was one of the big delays on this stuff, is the fact that whatchamacallit, they were trying to get BOE monitors versus what they were using before. 67.5 inches tall versus 60.75 inches tall. So an extra 7 inches, which I hear an extra 7 inches is a good thing. No riser. It says here's flush cabinet design. See, that makes me think this is in multiple pieces. Look at that on the column. Flush cabinet design.
Flush.
Why would it say flush? Does flush mean a single piece, or does it mean 2 pieces on top of each other? Flush.
Maybe.
I think this thing comes in multiple parts, guys.
I mean, if you look at the front panel and you look at the rest of the cab, and I mean, like, and you compare like the core pieces of it, like the top, bottom half, like technically I could see them, seaming it like you were talking about. So
yeah, I guarantee you there is going to be a seam right beneath the skull on the side panel here. Like his head will be on the top half, and then
no,
and then his body
like
on the bottom. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Is that's how this is gonna be.
I mean, I hope it's not.
At least
I hope it's not. But I mean, but we've accepted that with the iArcade.
That's true. That's true. The iArcade, the MVSX.
But the iArcade's also sold as a bar top, isn't it?
Yeah. And the AtGames Legends Ultimate's the same way. You have the top half of the cabinet, and then you build a base, and you screw them together, and you have a cabinet. So, all right. So you're going to get Suzo Hap joysticks and buttons. So that's a nice little upgrade. HDMI video out. So they're going to have HDMI out for streaming, if you wanted to, or just to have it on a display in your game room on a TV. Now, and then, of course, all the junk thrown in, the swivel stool, the tin sign, the faux coin mat, the tin sign, the anti-fatigue mat, a faux metal Arcade1Up badge. What?
I mean, that stuff is adding on at least like $30 to the price there. They could just take that stuff out.
They could just take. I saw a guy in the one of their Facebook groups today. He said it would be great if they just got rid of the sign, the fatigue mat, and what's the other thing? The stool, and charge us like $150 less, right? And I was like, he's got a point. He's got a great point. But that's everything that's included when you compare them. Now, guys, let us know in the live chat. Do me a favor, press 1. Let's assume the Killer Instincts aren't on sale right now, the KI Classics. If you guys think that this is worth $300 more than the KI Classic, press 1. If you think it's not worth $300 more, press 0. Let's get the viewer feedback in the live chat. Be honest. Tell us what you think. I don't know if this is worth $300 more. But, Carl's excited about it. You're go pro or go home, right, baby?
Yep. Like go to the next slide then. because
Yep, let's go to the next
focus
slide
is-
while people are waiting. Oh, and there we go. Are these changes worth 300? Go ahead, Carl. Why don't you walk us through this because you made this slide.
Well, I mean, again, we know this is a render. We know this is a render, so I'm kind of concerned. Put the picture back up.
I'm trying.
You know?
I'm trying. I keep hitting the wrong buttons, Carl. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So first off, we know this is a render, so we don't know what the thing is going to actually look like. That fatigue mat right there in that picture looks ridiculous. Because one, it should be horizontal, right? It should be landscape. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be two people playing this thing, so it's like everybody get 1 foot on the mat. So that's clearly a poor design, and hopefully they're going to flip that the other way and make that a wider mat. Which cabinet just had the back, the stool with the back rest? Didn't we just have one come out?
Well,
I don't think-
the Blitz stools. The Blitz stools.
Well, the
have
Blitz
back
doesn't
one.
have the backrest.
but it doesn't come with it. It doesn't come
I
with
think
it.
I like
right?
I like the ideal of the backrest for the stool. So that's a cool thing. Now I'm assuming that picture up on the wall is that the 10.
That's the
10
tin sign.
sign.
Yeah, tin sign there.
So
Yeah.
again, that's a render. We have no idea what it is.
What if I don't like that character? What if I want a different character? Can I get a
Right,
tin sign of that other character?
Yeah, they should have put Orchid up here. They would have had way more sales.
Yeah, and
A lot of-
Orchid in a bikini.
I think that's what
bam.
I think that's what the argument's been with this. It's like, they take liberties with all other cabinets. Why not have more characters on here?
Well, I think okay, I saw a video of this cab. I saw it in the last 24 hours. I can't remember where I saw it because this stuff has been squirting all over YouTube like crazy. But
I love the way you say squirting.
but the cab actually looks nice. I mean, it looks nice. I'm not gonna lie. And that we're getting a game that's pretty well developed because they've, KI has been out for a long time now, and Code Mystics did a really good job on it. But I think it's really hard to substantiate the cost of it, especially when there's a $130 stool that I don't want, and then two, just having faith in the company. I mean, but I think for fans who like it and who want it, it's a nice cabinet. It looks like it's going to be nice.
And the other thing with the coin door, this coin door is going to allow you to push those red buttons and actually put the credits in. So that's a nice upgrade. I love my real coin doors. I definitely like having it backlit like I just did on my Blitz as a mod. I think the coin doors are essential to the arcade experience, right? I mean, I know their whole motto is no coins necessary. But I think they've listened to us over the years and realized that, hey, that's an important part. And I think they've been moving in a great great direction. And so I think this is a next great step for the coin doors to allow you to use those to add coins to the game.
That's cool. I
We got $10 super chat from the Real Smile Bit. He says, if you look at that 1UP show video they did yesterday at the 356 mark, it shows where the seam is. Looks to be mid-chest on the skeleton. Not sure if that is the final design. So, yeah, it's definitely not a single piece. So just a heads up there.
Yeah, I understand why. And it's same with the iiRcade. It's a shipping restraint, right?
They got it.
Once you go over a certain size, it also for storage and retail, it takes up more space if you got this big, giant, long box. So I understand that. So, it's a bummer. Now, the thing about the iiRcade with the Black Edition, I have no seam because I had to apply my own, stickers to to it. So I don't have any seam on my iiRcade. And so I guess that's why I forget that seam exists for people with that type of styling where you sit the top onto the base. But yeah, I wish they would go where it's seamless, where it's just one piece. But I understand the shipping issue with that.
Well, when we took that poll in the live chat, I saw a lot more zeros than I did ones. Very few ones. Looks like our audience, or at least those who responded for the most part, don't feel these changes were worth a $300 price increase. Also, what I love is it's all opinions, guys. I mean, it's your opinion, my opinion, his opinion. Look at Music Mike. He doesn't like the new stools with the backrest, but regular Degular says he does. Isn't that interesting, guys? We all have different opinions. We all got to respect each other's opinions.
You know what? Since it's called the Pro Series, I think we should be allowed to trade in our non-Pro Series and get like a credit for it, like an iPhone.
Give it back to Arcade1Up for parts.
Right.
You're having a problem sourcing BOE monitors and chips? Take your cabinet back.
Now, here's another thing with the Pro Series. Now, if you guys are familiar when the Big Blue came out, people were not happy with those controls. A lot of people were very upset with those. I wouldn't say everybody was upset with it, but a large group were, because they want the better sticks, right? And then, if people like Bobby Vu were making custom, control panels that you can just swap out and put in new ones. So that's how strong people feel about that. And that was obviously additional costs for their Big Blue to be what they felt in a fighting competition ready, configuration, right? And so if the Killer Instinct and if this continues with other fighting games, I think that the people who really are into fighting games and want those precise movements, we see that with the Blitz, that joystick, having the correct joystick and be able to move how you want to move is essential to certain games, and for fighting it is. So I think part of that price hike is clearly for the better buttons and the better joysticks.
Well, but I mean, the retail cost to do that, to get actual HAP or IL joysticks with HAP buttons and like cherry switches, which are really good. I mean, the actual retail cost of that is somewhere in the neighborhood of like $50 to $60. So it's hard to, and that's like you paying for it. So, at like less than full market value, I don't know if we could substantiate that as being justifiable. I mean, maybe like the speakers definitely thrown in there too, and the size of the monitor. I think those three things combined maybe. But
Absolutely.
The real question is what are they paying for it? Because if I can do it for $60, that's not that much for a pretty good upgrade.
Guys, I think it's time that we do a Game Genie confession. People want a Game Genie confession every week. How we're going to pull this off without Michael be the Game Genie here, I don't know. But you know what, guys? We're going to give it a shot. Let's find out what this week's Game Genie confession is.
Hey, what's happening, guys? Hold on, I gotta figure out where my camera is. Who else is here? Nostalgia!
What's going on, dudes?
What's going on, fellas?
We're here in Ottawa celebrating my birthday.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Happy birthday.
So, guys, we also got Charlie Chuck here.
Hey, there he is.
Big fan.
Greetings.
What's up, Charlie Chuck?
Oh my God, my eye. So, you want a confession? What do you want me to confess?
Mike,
How many times did you and Nostalgia have sex since you guys met each other for the first time today?
We did it twice because we only had 2 minutes and Nostalgia was really fast.
Is it a blackout currently in Ottawa? I mean, where's the light?
Oh, hold on. We're at a bar, so we're trying to go to a quiet area to talk to you guys.
That's
Oh,
bad.
yeah?
That's bad.
You're at a burr?
A bar. A burr.
A bar.
A burr.
We're at a Tard House of Pinball here in Ottawa.
Wait. Mike, were you just hanging out by a food truck again?
No. Guys.
All right. Now we can
coming
see
to the
you.
light.
Yeah. Why is Nostalgia being so shy?
He's a weird dude in person.
He's like, I don't want people to see me from the waist down.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
He's
I'm glad.
not as pretty as you think he is in person.
He's what?
He's not as pretty as you think he is in person.
Where is he? Tell him to get over here. I want to
There
see
we
you
go.
guys together. Here he is. What's
What?
up, Steven?
What a piece of shit.
I do my best, Mike. I do my best.
So what are you guys doing in Ottawa? And are you guys going to be live streaming at all this weekend, or what's going on there? Tell us real quick.
We might be. I was super late tonight because I had to go to Build-A-Beer workshop to get some Build-A-Beers for my kids.
Forever.
I know.
Forever.
This is so weird.
It is.
Yeah.
It is weird.
How many people there have heard of RESTALGIA? Like, is he a celebrity as you walk around the mean streets of Ottawa?
Ottawa's
Nobody,
a humble place now.
nobody knows who he is.
They only recognize his arms.
All right, stop moving around so much. Well, I'm happy to see. Go ahead.
What else do you want me to confess? Do you want me to tell people I bought Killer Instinct Pro?
Yeah, tell people about Killer Instinct Pro.
I bought Killer Instinct Pro.
Oh, God. You weren't kidding when you said you're not the 3/4 scale diva anymore. You're the pro diva.
No, I'm all big now. Go big or go home.
So Michael B and Detroit Love have got Killer Instinct Pro. I have no interest. I don't think it's worth the money in any way, shape, or form. RESTALGIA, what about you? You picking up Killer Instinct Pro?
Not a chance.
And man, we're split 50-50. Jade, you are the tiebreaker. Are you picking up Killer Instinct Pro?
I'm gonna have to say no.
Ah, we win. You lose.
That's funny. Before I left, I asked my wife, I was like, would there be relations before I leave? And she said, I'm going to have to say no.
Because she knew about all the relations you and RESTALGIA were going to have. You're a dirty man. You're a dirty man.
This is so weird. Why is my camera being so weird? There we go.
Oh, there you go.
it's
Now
much
we
better.
can see
Yeah.
you guys. That's much better.
Good job.
Good to see you, RESTALGIA. You going to be back on the show soon? We're getting worried about you.
I'll be back next week.
Next week, RESTALGIA returns, bananas in hand.
Can I make another confession now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I also bought Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Oh my God, you are addicted.
I'm a wild man. Happy birthday.
I hope Laura's not watching this.
I thought she's gonna divorce him, guys. It's gonna
Oh, yeah.
happen.
Well, that's why I'm here. I live in Ottawa now. Anyways, guys, sorry for sabotaging you guys. You guys were having an awesome stream. We just wanted to say hello. We took a couple minutes to come outside. So
No, we're glad.
enjoy the rest of your show. SheLion, thank you so much for subbing in and joining the guys tonight. Everybody have a wonderful time. And we'll see you next week on Super
You
Game
too.
Room Dudes. Bye, Rick
Happy
Wallace.
birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah, just so you know, Mike, the audience has spoken. They would like SheLion to be a permanent resident here on the Super Game Room, dudes.
I don't blame you. She's so much better than me.
She could totally.
Yeah, she's so much better than RESTALGIA.
Yeah.
We love you, Steven. Come back next week.
I'll be back.
Later, dudes.
See you guys.
Later, man.
All right, guys, have fun.
All right. Got the riff-raff out of here. All right. I'm going to go and put this up here. Carl, tell us all about this slide you made.
Okay, where are we at here? Okay, so there's some caveats about this. There's only 500 units available. Again, this is not something that's available in retail. It's only available for Arcade1Up. So you have to pre-order it. Again, this is a test thing for them. They're trying to see if people are truly interested in paying a premium for the differences that, really from the XL to this one, right, is what the real difference is. And just know if you do, the money is deducted immediately from your account or applied to your credit card. It doesn't happen once it ships. And mid-January is the estimated ship date for it.
That's terrible.
What makes it terrible?
Yes, elaborate.
That they take your money out. Like what? That's doo-doo. It should
I
be
told-
it should be a deposit, especially if it's shipping mid-January.
I told Carl, I just said you just became a Kickstarter backer is what I told him when he told me he bought it today. And the reason why I
No,
say
I
that,
mean, like-
guys, go ahead.
I don't mean I just want to say this to you or anybody else who wants it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all. I just don't agree with the way that the business aspect of it is being done. I mean, if you want it and you're a fan of it, I love Killer Instinct. More power to you, but yeah.
Like for instance, Arcade1Up is supposed to have nearly 10 to 20, 25,000 hardcore fans who really love their products and follow them on social media. They've sold over 4 million units, but keep in mind, guys, that a lot of that shit goes to casuals out there, people who aren't in our communities. But still, the pre-order still hasn't sold out, guys. It's still available. Wouldn't you think if Arcade1Up released a cabinet and there's only 500 of them, these pre-orders would have been gone within 24 hours? I mean, what is going on here? Why isn't anyone pre-ordering? We've seen feedback from our live chat. I find it strange that it hasn't closed yet. Why hasn't it closed? It's very odd. They haven't sold 500 of these out of 25,000 Arcade1Up.
Well, I'll say this: Arcade1Up has not been very good at communicating about anything. I don't think that even their message the other day with the live stream, I don't think they did a fantastic job in that announcement. It seemed like they weren't prepared to do what they did to me. You know what I mean? I know they had some items that they wanted to discuss, but just the whole production aspect, they had very little B footage of this machine to show off. I mean, they talked about it and they moved on. They're not doing a great job of selling it. So I think it's diehard people that it's going to appeal to. It's going to be, like you said, the risk takers, even though it differs from a Kickstarter because we can cancel our pre-order at any time and get our money back. So there's no risk of losing money like you would with a Kickstarter if it didn't come to market. But I don't think they're doing a great job of getting this out. They have time to produce an incredible video that could sell this thing. They didn't have one, even a prototype version with John D, or even, like I said, even a video to really share. So they're not doing a great job. So I would say the numbers are down because they did a suck-ass job of promoting this thing. So
I love Weapon X comment here. Everyone's been waiting for Arcade1Up to deliver on the promised firmware updates for Blitz and MVC2, and instead they do a live stream and say, hey, we have no update for you on that stuff, but we would love for you to give us more of your money and buy this Pro Series cabinet. This one's tough. I honestly think they started with the wrong cabinet. I don't think KI was the right cabinet to start your whole Pro Series with. Like, I think they should have gone something else.
It's too hardcore of a niche.
Yeah. And
go to the next slide too, because I think this is part of the reason why they're not selling out of the pre-orders, because they just dropped $600 difference from the original one to this Pro.
Yeah, so at
least this weekend. So right. I mean, you got until Halloween to get the regular classic Killer Instinct for $400 as opposed to $1,000.
All right, here's where I start getting really antsy and ready to jump out of my seat, guys. So I'll try and stay as professional as possible because I'm not a drama channel, but I get dramatic sometimes. For starters, they didn't show the cabinet at all. When they showed us Blitz, when they showed us MVC2, when they said pre-orders are going live today, what did they have next to them live on these shows? They had the damn cabinet next to them. And there was no cabinet, no real cabinet. How do I know that this cabinet, just like their online play, isn't just an idea scratched on a napkin? Like I told Carl, I said, this all sounds like vaporware. I don't even think this cabinet exists in real life.
Well, and I mean, there are, so I have a KI, and on the online lobbies, you can see who has pros because it'll say pro next to their name. So there are people out there who have them, whether it's, I don't know if it's, beta testers or just people who are connected, but I mean, so they are already out there in the wild. So
yeah, they definitely exist in some form or fashion. John D.
But they couldn't pull one of these prototypes in for the show. Like,
yeah, that's weird.
They had guys all over the country on that stream. Not a single one of them has the prototype of the cabinet that they could put on air to make people go, because you know what? Customers and consumers love bright and shiny things. Ooh, ah. If they see the shit in real life, they're more likely to pull the trigger. And here's where they screwed up, all right? And it relates to Carl's slide. What happened when they announced this cabinet earlier in the year? They immediately said, we also have this other version that's cheaper. Mm-hmm. You would, and because of that, people didn't buy the Killer Instinct cabinet. They waited for the Pro Edition cabinet, right? So that was like a big marketing mistake. Like, hey guys, we got 2 versions of this cabinet available coming soon. You know what I mean? And consumers aren't going to buy. They're like, oh, I'm going to wait for that one instead of this one. When what they should have done is just release the KI standard and then months later release the Pro. Yeah, you'll have people who bought the KI standard who'll be like, oh my God, it's a whole new version of the cabinet. I was ripped off. We hear that about every product ever. It's like when the new Ford releases. Oh my God, this Ford has got this and my Maverick doesn't have that. It's the end of the world, but it's the way business works, guys. New products get released, new variants, usually not at the same time. Okay, so you would think that they would have learned from the mistake. That, like, hey, we shouldn't announce 2 cabinet deals at the same time. Nope, here we go.
Was it though, or was it just a carrot on a stick?
But here we go. Here it is again. Hey, guys, the pre-orders are live for Killer Instinct Pro. But by the way, that standard edition's here, and it's even cheaper than it was before. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would you market your crap this way? It makes no... How people aren't going to buy the Pro now, because now they're going to buy this little one for $400 versus an extra $600.
Yeah, they just not handle this KI announcements back at the CES. Now at this thing in this little crazy live stream with very limited viewership, you know what I mean? And then they put this on sale, so it just doesn't make sense the way they're going. It would have been better if they just announced this sale, and then once that thing ended, then you announce the Pro, right? You know what I mean? It's just they're not putting a lot of thought process to this thing.
And it's gone on sale a lot too in the last like 6 months. I mean, I've seen it, it's been what, $4.49 at GameStop, $4.99 at Best Buy, and it's just been on and off sale. And I mean, still, even then, it's a $200 to $300 price cut. I mean, all the people who bought it for $6.99 have got to be pissed about that. But it's like, what are they doing? They're throwing that price tag all over the place, and then just throwing everything that PDubs was just saying right there. And you, Detroit.
Yeah, they're like, guys, we want you to buy the Pro. Come buy the Pro. Pre-orders are live today for the Pro. But by the way, the standard is $600 less as of today. Oh man, come on. It makes no sense. Why would I buy the Pro when I could get the standard for $400 and spend $600 less dollars? It doesn't make sense. David gave us a $10 super chat. He goes, there is one in their Miami store back room. It's a stunning cab. I'm just not a KI fan. Does it work? Is it turned on? I saw that stream on the toy room. Cabinet was powered off. Could have just been a shell for all we know. But it's kind of like their firmware when it comes to... I was really concerned. And maybe I'm wrong to be concerned, but I'm really concerned that they didn't actually show the cabinet. Nobody had the cabinet. No sizzle reel, not even a trailer, not even their little sizzle reel trailers, nothing. It sounds to me like this cabinet doesn't really exist.
And I would agree. I don't think it exists. And it's just a concept. It's been a concept since the beginning of this year, that they're not sure if enough people are going to buy it. They're not sure if $1,000 is too much. But again, $1,000 is nothing to sneeze at. But earlier in the same show, you guys talked about iiRcade being totally acceptable for $800 or $8 something, and then you added that you even have to pay for shipping, possibly. So you're as close to $1,000 as you're going to get. Now, granted, iiRcade does have the ability to add additional games. This thing comes with 5 games, and you're stuck with those 5 games. But on one breath, you can't say, the plan for a premium cab is great and it's at this price, and then another premium cab, if it is premium, is not deserving of that. So I'm a little confused at that. But again, it's if you compare it to even say a real, if you were to go out and get a KI, you can probably find a KI cab somewhere for close to about $1,000, but it's not going to be in very good shape. It's going to have rat pee, mouthful, right? It's going to have warped wood. It's going to be beat up if you do.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you want to get rid of the rat poo and the warped wood, all this stuff, now you're talking about $2,500, $3,000, right? You know what I mean? So if you're a fan of the game, again, I still think the price is fair. With the added things, I think they need to fix on. I think it's all rendering at this point in time. I think they need to hear from us and make this a true premium cabinet that people want to put in their house or game rooms. I don't think the rendering, even with, like I said, a fatigue mat, it's just not thinking about what you're doing, because that mat on that picture is just ridiculous. You're going to be playing with somebody.
Yeah,
that
it looks like a pea mat.
They're going to have 1 foot on the mat. You know what I mean? They're just not thinking about it. You know, in my world, I ride bikes a lot, and you can tell when someone makes a bike lane that actually rides a bike as opposed to someone who don't ride a bike. You know what I mean? You can tell it in the design of the trails and the bike lanes. These renderings are done by somebody who doesn't play the games. They got the wrong people making decisions about these games. That's why we're having these issues. Who puts out these games? You market it, online play, and then you don't give it. They said in the live feed the other day, oh, we don't want to do this because we'll be rushing. The hell, you rushed it because you sent the thing out to the retails and online's not available. So that it's like they have two heads and they're fighting against each other, and somebody's winning that's not got the best ideas.
Maybe even 3, Detroit.
Ozzy says, D-Love, then why would you order it? He's asking why
Because,
would you order it?
and me and P-Dubs had this conversation, because I am a fan of the home arcade. 4 years ago, I had a Raspberry Pi hooked up to my TV with all these same games as on my modded. I already had an image that I could have plugged into it, but I am a true arcade lover. I want to stand at a cabinet and play games and enjoy it. I'm not going to play it for 5 hours like some of you guys do. I might come down here and play for 20 minutes, an hour on any given cabinet, and I'm gone. I love the concept of having the ability to walk into my basement and enjoy a game or two that I love. So I'm a fan, and I think that these cabinets should improve, keep improving. We look at the Street Fighter that came out 4 years ago, and we look at even Blitz with the blunders, and we look at the MVC and the MVC2, and you look at these cabinets. They've come a long way in 4 years. So they are slow as hell to implement some of these things, but they are moving in the right direction. And I think the Pro Edition is the right direction. I think their delivery of this announcement back in January and now is the most ridiculous way to do it, because they're giving people too many options. And if you drive on any freeway, the congested parts are always where you have choices. Do I get off and go to the mall? Do I not? When you give people choices, if they're going to slow down, they're going to move. They're not going to act. You know what I mean? They're not going to act properly. So I think they're doing it the wrong way, but I think they're going in the right direction, and I want to support them going into the right direction. And it's costing me $1,000 for them to go in the right direction. Everybody don't want to give up $1,000 right now, so that's why it's a test to see if enough people are interested in this to do it. Because again, it's harder for me to spend $1,000 to add a cabinet to this game room here. But for a new customer who hadn't done that, the $1,000, they're only buying one cabinet in most cases. And so the $1,000, I got $5,000, $6,000 right here, for that person. If this cabinet wows them at the presence, if they walk into a Sam's Club or a Walmart or a Target and the cabinet is the way it should be, lit, coin door, I can put the credits in there, they're going to get that experience. It's going to wow them, and it's not going to matter that they never buy more than one cabinet if you can get enough people to buy that one cabinet. So that's why I purchased this, pre-ordered. I'd never pre-ordered. I pre-ordered one, the Tempest, and then I canceled it, and they got it cheaper than what it was at pre-order. So I'm not the person to pre-order, but I think it's important to this industry. I think it's important to the home arcade market that they keep moving in the right direction. With all the blunders, with all the mistakes, I would rather have today than the 4 years ago and what my game room looked like.
Oh yeah!
And vote for Detroit Love on November 2nd.
And vote for Detroit Love on November 2nd. With all the complaining, the crying, the bitching about everything, Carl eloquently gave the other side point of view Thanks so much, Carl, for that. So it was great hearing that. I'm still not buying a piece of shit, but it was nice to hear that.
And maybe not this one, but the next one, maybe it's something that appeals to you.
If it was a Qbert Pro, I might buy it. I might be like, that's $1,000 well spent. Go get your Qbert Pro. Oh man. Okay. But anyway, so they do this live stream yesterday, and everyone's upset because they didn't give us any updates. We were supposed to get the online release for NFL Blitz in October. What they did was they activated leaderboards so they could meet whatever legal, because I'm sure they could get into some legal trouble for not putting stuff out there.
Hey, Speed, something's going on with your mic, brother.
Something's going on with my mic?
Yeah, it sounds like you're getting further away, or...
What about now? What about now?
You're better.
That's good for now, but let's see.
What about now?
That's good.
What about now? No?
Yeah. No,
We're
yeah.
good?
No, yeah.
No, yeah? Well, what is no, yeah? That's two opposite words. Is it good?
Yeah, you're good. I think, right, Detroit?
Yeah. All right. Console Kit says Qbert will sell 500. I hope so. I hope so.
Right,
Anyway.
frozen, but my thing's going. Go ahead. Go and continue. We can hear you better now.
Okay. So Arcade1Up was supposed to give us updates on these firmware, and they had no update to give. They talked, they brought it up because
just bear with them. Just bear with them. KI Pro's coming out.
It's like they brought it up because they knew they had to, but they're like, what cracked me up was when Justin Wong was sitting there and he goes, this is what cracked me up, is when he goes, I want you guys to know that we're online testing NFL Blitz now. Like we just got it. Like we're online like, wait a minute, you weren't online testing this thing 6 months ago, 8 months ago? Like why are you just online testing it now? You know what I mean? It makes no sense. It's kind of like when I wrote that ideas on a it's like when I said that ideas on a napkin comment earlier tonight. It's like they're like, okay, we're gonna sell NFL Blitz. What features are we gonna put in? And they were all like at lunch at Denny's, and they're all like writing down on a napkin. Okay, let's have a marquee. Online play. Let's do online play.
Like a pitch, yeah.
Yeah, and then they release the cabinet, and then they're like, oh, by the way, we gotta have some online play on there, and they can't get it up and running. The developers working on it can't get it up and running. So it's like what? Why is it not?
Because they're in the beta testing phase right now, and then they're going to release it for a public beta testing phase to the public in whenever, we don't know, and then we'll be beta testers, right?
Oh yeah,
and
you will be the beta tester.
Yeah, the consumer.
The consumer. It made no sense. Everything that happened on that stream made no sense yesterday. It was probably the worst stream they've ever done.
If they would just stop being cheapskates and hire Code Mystics on to take care of all their online platform stuff and have a uniform online platform for all their stuff, they probably wouldn't have problems like this. They could probably avoid problems like this.
Yeah, and this Justin Wong guy does not impress me at all, because he was supposedly the beta tester and quality control guy behind Mortal Kombat and Big Blue. He confirmed that himself on his live streams on his channel, that he was the guy beta testing the input lag, the performance issues, and gave it the green light for it to be released. And both those cabinets, the community had to go in and hack the devices to fix the input delay on Big Blue, which that got released by Team Encoder.
The legacy cab for Street Fighter 2 was better. It looked better, played better, and it was just all around nicer as far as the gameplay than what came out on Big Blue. And I can tell you, because I did side-by-side videos, that the emulation on the legacy cab is different and better than what's on the Big Blue. And I don't know if it has to do with the fact that one is online and one is not, or if they use different dev teams. I don't know.
Console Fanboy gave us a $5 super chat. He says we're lucky to even have Blitz and MVC2. Those games are miracles. Also, I love John D. New merch now available. Always with the billboards with Zohar. Crack me up.
Yeah.
but still,
I mean, I would say we are lucky to have those two things, except for the fact that we're not lucky to not have what we were told we were going to get with them when they were released.
yeah. I just, what's his name? Justin Wong could come out and be like, guys, NFL Blitz and MVC2 online goes live tomorrow, and it's going to be awesome. Because of the prior experience, I am not going to sit there and be the person who reads that message from him that'll go, oh, this is great. I can't wait. Tomorrow's going to be awesome. Justin Wong says it's going to be awesome. Because of past experience, I'm going to be like, here we go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Again, I'm not surprised that Arcade1Up makes mistakes. I've had, marquees come on that were upside down. I've had missing panels. I've had a slew of things that didn't, like my Tempest. The buttons don't even work. I turn it on one day and it's just not working. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying the company's perfect. I'm not saying they always do it right. The show the other day was the first time I ever watched that show. I didn't think it was. I don't think the presentation was well at all. I think they could have done that a whole lot of different ways better than that.
Yeah.
And I heard something I thought was really weird. Somebody said, well, they didn't get these two cabinets right, and now they're talking about selling another cabinet. Who does that? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. If Toyota had a problem with their Camry, they're not going to say, oh, we're not going to release any Lexus because we have a problem with money. Shut the whole thing down. That just doesn't make any sense. I don't think they stopped making new cabinets because they have some issues they have to work out with other cabinets. But we need those cabinets, those issues to be resolved and fixed. And don't promise something that you don't deliver, and don't have any type of timeline. I think that's the biggest thing for me. You release this thing clearly without doing proper testing, and then you have no idea. You can't say, well, it's not going to be a year. You can't even say that. You know what I mean? I don't get that. They should be able to narrow it down. Oh, I don't want to say one thing, and be proven wrong. Well, hell, we've already seen you wrong a bunch of times. So you're not going to avoid that, train. So I think their approach to it is just there's a better way to do a lot of the stuff that they've done recently. But I'm enjoying the Blitz. Again, I'm not a real big online person because I just don't like getting embarrassed and get my butt whipped so much online. But I'm enjoying it. I would be, and I wasn't a person that was even looking forward to the Blitz coming out. So I'm glad I got the Blitz cabinet. I would hate for the online to get resolved, and then some of you guys miss out on having the Blitz cabinet because the thing's not available. Just like Star Wars, people want the Star Wars now and they can't get it. So I would hate that to be for someone who really loves the cabinet. I have confidence that they'll get to it. I don't have confidence that they know what the hell they're doing at this point in time.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the big issues, that's weighing down on everybody, especially like, I mean, at least for me, because like it's one thing for a company to make mistakes and be like, we're sending you a product that has like a damaged marquee or this, that, and the other, and then have good customer service where they send you replacement parts or whatever the case may be, because their customer service is pretty good. But it's another thing for them to say, hey, this is coming out, it's optimized, the mechanics are good, and it's going to have online play. And to do that twice in the row and screw up the release is in my opinion, and then not address it, in my opinion, is unacceptable and very unprofessional. And I think that that's the biggest issue that I have that takes my faith in the company away and makes me not want to support them, because you're not really supporting your consumer base. We're not your guinea pigs. We're here spending our hard-earned money on your products. And I mean, at this point, it's like, if you're going to go buy an Arcade1Up product, you are risks. Like, and if for the people who don't, they need to, like, I hope that they come on and they look at some of the channels that are, clearly speaking about some of the risks associated with buying these products and what they might not get, or what's being advertised and what is not coming with the cabs. I think that those are the issues, that the company's not communicative with their consumer base. Those are big issues, patch updates, all those things that people have been talking about lately. They're like, we're getting sick of this. Where is it?
Yeah.
And those are the issues. It's not having a damaged product or, you know, a broken PCBA. I personally don't care about that because they'll take care of that. Their customer service will take care of that. But it's the fact that the company has no accountability for the crap they're pulling on the consumer base.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that they didn't handle this, and again, I can't say that enough. You know, again, we've had experiences. You know, the four of us on Game Room Dudes, Super Game Room Dudes, we found the issue with the online play on the NBA Jams. We thought we were playing against each other, and we were all four of us in 4 different games, and would have never known it if we weren't taping it and doing it. You know what I mean? We just thought this thing was fantastic. And so again, I think that, which I agree with you, the biggest issue is because with any relationship, trust is key. They, instead of just owning up to the issue, they were silent and they didn't address it. And even now, when they came and said something, they said nothing. They said nothing more. They just said, we know what you guys are saying. And I didn't like, what's the guy's name? The marketing guy, the younger, what's his name?
David McIntosh.
Yeah, David McIntosh. I didn't like, and I don't think he meant it this way, but he kept saying, I see the comments and I'm laughing. I don't know if you guys caught that. He said it several times there. I'm laughing at the comments. You know, I don't think he meant to say it the way it came across, but to me, every time he said that, I'm like, that's not what you say.
No.
Yeah, you're basically telling people you think their opinion is a joke.
Yeah.
And I think he meant to say, I'm laughing because I agree and we should be doing something, but that's not what you said. He kept saying, I see the comments, I'm reading the comments, I'm laughing. You know what I mean? And I was like, this is, they're just, the whole show, I just thought they were not prepared for either the talk about the KI Pro properly, and they were not prepared to talk about the issues of these 2 cabinets properly. And I think I would have rather them not have done a show than to release that, to do that show, because they did not address either issue properly.
I think it was a slap in the face more than anything.
The launch of the Pro was all messed up, especially when you then tell people the standard's on sale. So why go buy the Pro? You don't even have the cabinet to show up. And then they're messaging on the other 2 cabinets, which were supposed to be 2 of the biggest releases of their entire history of their company. These 2 titles, Blitz and MVC2, are supposed to be 2 monster titles to get them home and name brand recognition across the country, help elevate their status. Completely botched, screwed up. And they have no solutions. Oh, we're working on it. Oh, hey, we're bringing in other people. The developers we originally hired don't know how to get this working, so we're going to be bringing in other developers. We'll eventually get this fixed for you guys. We're so sorry. We'll try to communicate better. Oh, come on. It was probably the worst broadcast they've ever done. And I agree with you, Carl. Maybe they should have just not said anything and just had KI Pro go live on their website, and that would have been it. The news would have been picked up. But here's where I stand with Arcade1Up this year. In my opinion, and we got to get close to the end of the show here, guys. Here's where I stand with Arcade1Up this year. When I take a look, Terminator 2 audio issues were never fixed. The company said it didn't affect game performance, so they're not fixing it. And that cracks me up because that's an online enabled cab. They're not fixing it, and everyone just has to deal with it. What I don't think they understand is the audio performance on the Terminator 2 cabinet affects the overall experience, not just the performance, the experience of using your product. And the fact that they don't give 2 shits and they let that one slide. My Golden Tee Pro monitor crapped out. My cabinet's been down for 6 months. I spent $700 on it. Cabinet's dead. Doesn't work. When it comes to Dragon's Lair, again, audio issues that members of this community busted their ass, spent hundreds of hours beta testing and showing differences between versions, saying, hey, all you have to do is adjust the audio 12 frames and it would be a much better experience for dedicated Dragon's Lair players. Arcade1Up said, nope, doesn't affect the performance of the game. We're going to let that slide. But they don't realize it affects the experience with playing with your toys and the experience with the products. Now you have Blitz in my house. And by the way, I do have Golden Tee. I do have Dragon's Lair. I do have Terminator 2. And I do have Blitz, all paid for out of my own pocket. And now I have Blitz, which I only bought to play online with my buddies. Because if I want to play Blitz with late hits and shit, I'll play Dreamcast. Guess what happened? Here's the cabinet. You've had it for nearly a month. Guess what? You can't play online with people, and we don't know if we're ever going to get this goddamn thing up and running. So my message tonight to my audience, or at least the audience of the show, is guess what? I'm done. That's the last Arcade1Up product I'm going to buy. Unless they fix the online play for Blitz and make it a good experience and potentially push out updates for these other cabinets that they think we're just going to forget about, I'm done. I'm not buying any more Arcade1Up products. Period. Done.
No, PDubs, let me add here. I think that's bullshit what you're saying.
I'm done.
I'm respectfully say,
even if they release Qbert, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Okay. But what I'm saying here, I don't think, now you said earlier, we're not the beta testers. One of you guys said we're not the beta testers, but the reality is we have been beta testers for Arcade1Up day one. I'm talking about this core group, the group that we all roll with and we talk with, and people, most of the people in this chat. We are the beta testers because we've helped improve these products over the years. They wouldn't even have anything worth putting out if we weren't constantly on their heads to say, do better, you can do better. Who I feel for, because I talked to a gentleman, I feel for the regular consumer that knows nothing about this show, don't know nothing about who Arcade1Up is, that purchased that Blitz cabinet thinking, wow, I can be able to play with my friends. You know, I'm going to tell my buddies I got it. They're going to go out and get their cabinets and we're going to be able to play this game together. That's who I feel for, because they have no idea about this live show the other day. They have no idea about anything other than this little pop-up that says online play is not yet available. Be patient. They have no idea when that's going to occur, when they're going to be able to play with their buddies. They done talk to their buddies. They got the cabinets too. They're waiting on it, and they have no idea when it. And for that live show come on the other day and make that even worse, they have no idea when these customers are going to be able to play and do the promise that they put on that box and why they bought that cabinet. So I don't feel for us because we bought a lot of this stuff.
No, I think
we wanted to do it, but those regular consumers, the masses of who wish they are trying to appeal, they're trying to expand outside of our circle to get everybody to buy at least one of these cabinets, whether it's MVC2 or whether it's Blitz or whatever it's KI. They want these people to get this initial, and they just handle this thing ridiculously.
When these things were $300 and we were missing a lot of great things that we complained about and eventually got, and the price tag went up higher, you know, $500 to get light up marquees and all this crap. Like $300, you can let them get away with stuff. Guys, we are at, every time you buy a cabinet, you could be buying a PlayStation 5, an Xbox Series X, a Nintendo Switch OLED, Valve Steam Deck, which you should be buying a Valve Steam Deck. The new Quest, like you could be spending your money on something like that, and we have to hold them accountable. And the only way I can hold Arcade1Up accountable as a consumer, because I don't work with them, never got anything free from them, have zero relationship with them, I'm not a contractor with them, have no relationship with Arcade1Up whatsoever. The only way I can hold that company accountable is to speak my opinion and also say, guess what? I'm not giving you any more of my dollars. None. Not until you fix these two cabinets that are out there, and maybe make an effort towards fixing some of these other cabinets that have been out there for a long time. Show people that you care about your products, especially because you notice all these products that I mentioned that have issues are all products that are in the $600-700 range. It's a lot of goddamn money. It's a lot of goddamn money for me to spend, for you to spend, and to get a half-ass effort. So the only way I can hold this company accountable is withhold my wallet. Now, if PDubs doesn't buy another Arcade1Up again ever in the future, does that mean Arcade1Up's going to go out of business? No, but I'll sleep better at night. I don't have to promote Arcade1Up on my channel. I don't have to talk about them. I don't have to make content about them. Arcade1Up has only ever made up 20% of my channel content. I could talk about all kinds of shit, and my YouTube channel will still be there and still grow. You know? So guess what? Fix your shit, or we're not buying it anymore. That's my hot take for the night, because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Sorry you had to be here for that, SheLion. My opinions and thoughts do not reflect upon SheLion or Carl in any way, shape, or form. Don't hold it against them.
No, I mean, I think that it's good. I mean, like, you know, everybody here has their own, you know, kind of perception and opinions of the situation. But I think one thing that we all have in common is that, you know, you slowly have all these opinions kind of coming to the center of this matrix of the company needs to have some level of accountability to its consumer base. And I think that that's like a really important takeaway, because if it is affecting people, you know, and it's making you not want to buy their product, and it's making me not want to buy their product, then, you know, obviously it's having some effect. And even when you have, like, if you looked at the chat in that live that they did, if you looked at the chat in that live that they did, so many people in there were like, what are you guys going to do about, you know, MVC2? What are you guys going to do about Blitz? What about all these other products that you guys have botched? You know, and so I think that a lot of people are really starting to see it, and it's becoming more visible. So I do, you know, I agree with both your perspectives, and I think that, you know, for the most part, we're all being pretty logical about it. It's just that we don't want to get ripped off, and we want the company to take care of us if we're buying their products.
Yep. See, I don't think people realize this. You could easily not give them free press, not give them free media, not promote their products, not talk about their products. You could turn off all your Arcade1Up commentary and put a line in the sand and say, until you deliver on your promises, I'm not going to associate myself with you. It's that simple. Anyone can do it. I'm going to do it. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm not buying another Arcade1Up product until they fix the shit that's out there. Period. If they don't ever fix it, guess what? I won't buy their shit anymore. It's that simple. I don't need Arcade1Up. I think you guys got to remember, Arcade1Up needs you. They need me. They need Carl. They need SheLion. They need consumers more than they need us more than we need them. Does that make sense? You got to remember, put your brand first over a company. So boom, there you go. But yeah, I'm not buying any more products until they fix their shit. Period. There you go. Thanks.
And that's all he got to say about that.
Yeah. Anywho, but on a bright side, Killer Instinct Pro is available now. No, I'm just kidding.
On the bright side, if you want a KI, you better get it for $400 if that's something you want.
Yeah.
And yeah, $1,000 is a lot to chew on, and they made it easy to get the other one. I say there's no guarantee that the Pro is going to come out. Like you said, if enough people don't go over and get the pre-orders, it may never come. So we shall all see.
Yeah. And also, Scott Bacharach, where the hell are you? The people that are running your company while you're laying with your feet up in Florida are burying your company right now. If I was the CEO of Arcade1Up, I would get my ass out there, let people know that you're listening, let people know that you care. Let people know that you're fixing the problems that are internally in your company with the communication problems between departments. It's like the sales team has no idea what the hell the marketing team is doing. It's like the marketing team has no idea what the software development team is doing. The licensing team surely shit doesn't know what anyone is doing, because all they do is sign licenses and say, hey, we got a license. You know what I mean? They don't know what's going on. And if I was Scott Bacharach, the CEO, guess what? You're the captain of the ship. The captain of the ship is responsible. I expect Scott Bacharach to start communicating with his customers. He can even do it via email. I don't give a shit. I want to see something from Scott Bacharach saying, I hear you, I understand you, and I'm going to do this to fix the company and restore consumer confidence.
Yes.
Where the fuck is Scott Bacharach? Where is the CEO?
He was out and promoting it at the start 4 years ago. Yeah, I think he should be saying something.
Anyway, sorry for the rant. Next week, we plan on having a positive show, especially with return of the fellas from their trip in Ottawa. We'll find out if they
so you had the negative show while I was here?
We'll find out how many STDs RESTALGIA is going to get treated for in Ottawa. But do us a favor, guys. SheLion Gaming, the link is in the video description below. Big thanks to Jade for filling in a couple of big chairs tonight. I thought you did great.
Absolutely.
Thank you, gentlemen, for having me.
If you guys enjoyed the podcast, give us a thumbs up on the way out. Leave your show feedback, reactions in the comment section below. Carl, whenever you're ready, send them on their way. You guys have a great weekend and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, guys. We appreciate you. We love you. Friday night, we appreciate you every week. Until next time, we'll see you on the web.